Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors, a Divo Knives GROWLER rendition. Listen, we're going to run this one just a little bit different. This first part, we're going to talk in real time, and then we're going to narrate the rest. I just want to say a couple things. Colin and Kev over at Divo Knives absolutely have slaughtered this design. I love it. I love everything about it. I want to thank Donnie B. all day for sending it on to me. I want to thank Brandon Thrasher for letting both of us review it. Now, there's a couple things. Donnie had to re-put the edge on. He had a little bit of a chip, and you can see it right here. He had several. He fixed them all save one, so there's a little chip now. The thought process is, with this knife, that it was just a burnt edge. So Donnie took the edge off and reviewed it again, which credit to Donnie for doing that. Credit to Divo Knives for immediately just telling Brandon, hey man, we'll send you another blade. So they got another blade coming. So we're going to put this out. Shout out to Divo, Kevin, Colin. Even though nobody really likes Kevin, everybody likes Colin. Shout out for this is just a dope knife, man. We're going to get into it. I'm going to give you a steel, the stats and all that. I'm going to play with it. Let's check the sharpness on it. Now this is Donnie's edge, but it's going to be Divo's heat treat, and hopefully it was just a fried edge. We're going to do a little cutting or a lot of cutting. I love the knife, and I want to give you some initial thoughts on it. In hand, it's very light in hand. It's a lot lighter than I thought, and you can see right there, man. I love the design. I love the belly of the blade. I'd say that's probably a modified clip, and somebody's going to tell me I'm wrong, and that's fine. You have the right to be wrong. It's got a nice little working choil there. A lot of my reviews, guys, I use this fencing grip, and you can see right here, full 4-finger grip, very comfortable in hand. Donnie loved the design. I'm going to link both of his videos to it. I'm going to link Thrasher's video to it. That way I want y'all to get a big feel for it. So, all that being said, I don't know why the hell y'all like that so much, but you do. When you do the whole... That's a dope knife. Let's go out to the stump and we'll do the intro. Well, appreciate it, Scab. Welcome to the stump, guys. Listen, I freaking love this knife. The testing's done. I'm down to the narration. I'm stoked about this blade for a lot of reasons. Let me say this up front. Not every knife has to be some beastly tank of a knife that could survive the apocalypse, okay? There's all kind of pocket knives. There are the tanks. There's the sharpened pry bars. There's all of those. There's the pocket jewelry. There's the high end. There's all of these kinds of knives. There's office carry, church carry, hunting, fit, you name it. So the question then becomes, what is the growler? Now, I adore this knife. It speaks to me. The design speaks to me. Y'all don't hear me talk about design a lot. This is a knife I would actually carry. If I do another run, I will actually carry it. I love that it's a thinner blade. And I'm going to give you all the specs in a minute. I'm going to tell you something. I did everything I could do that would chip or roll this edge without abusing the knife. I cut everything that you see in this video. I cut daily for work or for recreation. I use a knife every day of my life. Every day. I make it a point to. I don't think you can be a decent knife reviewer without using a knife. I'm not saying you got to show it. I'm not saying that's what you got to do. But you need to whittle, cut, hell, open a letter. But use the knife. Now right here, I'm just doing some different stuff. But let me go back to this. You do not have to work in industrial settings or have some kind of bomb-proof knife for me to enjoy the knife or like the knife. This, to me, the growler, is an EDC that you could carry to church, you could carry to office, you could carry it on a camping trip. Hell, you could carry it, and I'll prove it in this video, in an industrial setting. It's awesome pocket jewelry because I love the looks, I love the way it acts. But here's the thing about me, guys. People say, Scab, you're nice. Being nice has, you know why I'm nice, guys? Here's the truth. Truth's finally going to come out. Because trying to be a wannabe tough guy on the internet means nothing to me. Being an asshole on the internet means nothing to me. Shitting on a company to shit on a company means nothing to me. That's why we do the demonstrations we do. Now, I don't know why I did that right there, because I absolutely despise the spine whack test. I really do. But I wanted in my mind and in my heart to prove that you could do anything with this knife. Now, this is steel reinforced sandblast hose. If anything's going to chip this, if anything's going to chip the blade, it's going to be this right here. So we did cut it not once, not twice, but thrice. And I cut it more during the damn thing. Why? Because it's a badass knife. And I'm going to tell you the story, what I'm talking about on the edge. I alluded to it up front. I'll give you some more particulars. Before we do that, guys, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives in this country. Now, their stats are everywhere, numbers are everywhere, statistics everywhere. So that's why we focus on the number zero. Vets, listen to me. All that means is this: anything over zero is simply unacceptable. You're welcome here. You have a place here. That's all it means. We're not a charity. Just want you to know you're welcome here. We're back to Blue over here. We support Lil. Oh, Lord, it wears people out. And I'm not going to explain it every video. How do you do that, Scab? Well, we don't break the damn law. It's pretty easy. Simple concept. And if we do, because I have, you can tell, we accept responsibility for it. And this part's very, very important, guys. If you are an addict, never quitting. Now, let me give you a quick rundown. Brandon Thrasher, who's just an awesome brother in the blade, his channel is Thrasher's Garage, sent a box of knives for D-Bad to test and then to send on to me. Donnie was excited about this growler, loved the design, loved everything about it, so he did this one last. In cutting some mesh, he put 4 or 5 chips in the blade. Now, it shouldn't have done that, obviously. So he posted the video. Brandon contacted Kev and Colin over at Divo. They said, listen, man, what I love about it's this. They said, you know what? This has happened before. They didn't hide it. They didn't go, oh, it's bullshit. They just said, hey, man, this has happened before. What we think it might be is a burnt edge. Can you have him reprofile the edge? So Donnie, being a true knife guy, said, hell yeah, makes sense to me. He reprofiles the edge. He didn't want to remove too much metal, so there is a slight chip in the bottom. But then he come up with this edge right here. He did another demonstration as a knife reviewer should do, in all fairness. Guys, it's too easy just to shit on people. I get a little tired of that, to be honest with you. Donnie's a knife guy. Donnie said, hey, man, that makes sense to me. Let's redo it. Flying colors. So my goal today was to demonstrate this knife to the best of my ability, to showcase its strengths, talk about the feel, and just give you a good look at the knife. That's what we do, okay? It's not that I feel like, oh my God, this is the only way to demonstrate a knife. This is the way that I am set up to review it, by using it. That's all that means. So hopefully you'll see something in this demonstration that you can take and make a decision. I can tell you this, and I can tell you this unequivocally. If they do another run of these, old Scabber is going to buy one. I love everything about this knife. See, I think from the way the channel started, guys, I think people think that I only like tanks or bashers and crashers. And while they have a place and always will in my heart, one of my favorite type knives on this planet is this right here, thin, slicey. Look at that wide blade. That is conducive to slicing. We're going to cut polypropylene rope. We're going to cut a lot of industrial type materials, but I want you to listen to me. Whether you work in an industrial setting like I do, or you work in an office, or you're whatever, this knife accomplishes, and it hits a lot of marks for me. I can only give you my opinion on the knife. I'm going to include Donnie's videos. I'm going to include Brandon's videos and shout those guys out. They're great community guys. I'll see if I can find Lefties. Because, you know, Lefty likes talking about Lefty. And I know I give Lefty a hard time. That's a good dude, man. Lefty's one of the best dudes in this community. I'll stand up for him. I'll stand with him any day of the week. I don't know Colin. I really don't. I'm hoping to meet him at Blade Show. But I will put my name on Lefty because he's a good dude. Now, on to this knife. Let me give y'all some specs, okay? The blade stock is 14C 28N. I love that. I really, that's a favorite steel of mine. Overall length is 7.5 inches. Blade thickness is 0.12 inches. Blade length is 3 1/8. Now we're going to cut this ratchet strap, son. Pay attention while I'm reading. Cutting edge is 3 inches. Blade width is 1 3/8 inches. Handle length is 4 3/8. The inner grip is 3 3/4. Now, It's a 4-ounce knife. It doesn't feel that way. It has that nice thin profile. And when I'm telling y'all, man, and I've got all kind of pocket knives. We're going to do another part of the pocket knife collection tomorrow night, Monday night. Check it out. But I love all kind of, but this is one of my favorites. Something that just slices and slices and slices, and you can use in every application. Now, hone in there a little bit. I like doing this mainly, I guess, for a hunter or something like that was going to do some skinning. That's 2-inch ratchet strap. It's that heavy industrial strength ratchet strap. So I believe just making some cuts on it, some different slices on it, you can see how the knife functions. And again, guys, whether you work in an office setting or an outdoor setting, hunter, fisherman, whatever, the reason that I use these materials is because it's readily available, okay? That's the only reason. But I use what's available to me, and I always believe that you can take what I cut up, what I slice up, and you can convert that over, okay? And my thought process behind it is this. If it will cut sandblast hose, if it will cut ratchet strap, if it will cut sidewall of a tire, which we do later in the video, and the edge holds up, then it'll cut food, it'll open letters, it'll skin an animal, it will do whatever you need it to do. And somebody inevitably, Kev, is it good for self-defense? Unless you're an idiot. Yes, it's perfect for self-defense. It deploys easily. Now, I personally love the action on this knife. I've found myself just messing with it around the house all day long. Not just during the review, but over the past few days since I've had it, I've really enjoyed just opening and shutting. I cut this ratchet strap a bunch, and there are times, if you follow the channel, you know, sometimes I don't do something once or twice and move on like I should. I'll get locked in or focused in on what I'm doing and kind of forget the camera's rolling. And that's, honestly, if you want the honest truth, I was enjoying this so much and trying some different hand positions, different finger positions, that I ran this. Now, throughout this video, you're going to see me pick up that high pressure sandblast hose, because I'll be the first to admit, Thrash said, hey, Scab, they're sending me a new blade, which again, man, Divo Knives could have said, well, that's Donnie, say he's done something, blah, blah, blah. They said, look, man, it's happened before. It's probably a burn edge. Check that out. Let us send you a new blade. That's customer service, man. Now, if anything was going to chip this blade, it'd be this right here. People misunderstand why I do this demonstration. I don't do the demonstration to show you a knife cutting zip ties. Any knife should cut zip ties or at least be able to pry them off, right? A butter knife could, really, truly, honestly. When I first started doing the demonstration, it was just something to throw in there. I had messages the first few times, a ton. Now we're going to slice. This is about an 8/3. That's probably 3/16. See the steel belting there? See the steel belting there? So we're going to slice through it. So I did a lot of things that if it was going to chip up this edge, this demonstration would have done it. This is also a little longer demonstration than I normally do. Again, just got locked in, and really I edited everything down I could to get this. But going back to the damn zip ties, I had a couple guys message me, man, we love that particular demonstration. And I had one dude say, man, I've chipped a ton of edges on zip ties. They weren't very good knives, but I enjoy seeing what holds up. So it's become a staple. So the truth is, we do that to chip the edge, not to check the sharpness. Now, I'm picking up another piece of hose, I believe. Again, this is 4, 5, 6 times. Here's some of that water hose that's canvas outside, plastic inside. The other thing I do, guys, and I don't know why the hell I do this, but I do it all the time, and that's sliced right through there. That little bit of a demonstration impressed me more than anything. I'll get mediums that are too short, and then it's hard to cut. Well, that's not the damn knife's fault. That's a skill set fault. This knife, and I'm just telling you, being honest with you, this knife will make your skill set look good. Now, we're going to cut this a different way. This is different. There's a difference in putting something on the table and cutting it and holding it up in the air. And if you use a knife, you know what I'm talking about. No problems, no chipping, no rolling. no lockup. And again, I don't even know why I did that damn spine rack test. I despise it. But there's no problems with the lockup on this knife. It locks up very, very securely. The edge held up insanely well. Donnie not only put a sharp edge on here, but a robust cutting edge that was laser sharp, but it goes back to Divo's heat treat. If it was a heat treat problem, this sumbitch would have rolled or chipped by now, I promise you. We did a little batoning with it now. And again, another couple whacks, and I'm going, why am I doing that? But that's just being old scabber. The other thing is this, got about a minute left, guys. Get some good looks at it here. The other side of all of this is just a damn good looking knife. I love the design. I love the blade shape. And look at this. We walk straight in from cutting that hose, straight in from doing all that. And it's still got a hit. I'll strop it, and this sumbitch will be razor sharp again. It's crazy. So overall thoughts on the knife. Love it. It does not feel like a 4-ounce knife. It really doesn't. It's light in pocket. It carries very well. It's got great action on it. Feels good in hand. It cut everything I wanted it to. But the thing I need y'all to remember more than anything is this. I'm Scab. You're not. Hell of a knife, guys. I'm gone, son. The Growler.